Hello and welcome to the very first episode of 8 Bits, a show where we look in search of 8 different bits from across all eras of games. These bits can be Easter eggs, secrets, or just things that we thought were rad as flip. We've wanted to do more of these for years, long before GVG was founded, and thanks to you guys, we can finally make it happen. Anyway, we've got a mountain of these stored away, so let's just give you a look at the very first 8. Let's see those bits! You probably feel like you know all there is to know about Breath of the Wild. Back in 2017, that game shocked us with how deep its systems were, from huge details like being able to fix rusty weapons with Octoroks, to tiny ones like being able to feed a bunch of animals, not just horses and dogs, squirrels even. But even 5 years later, I don't think many know the depth behind this one. The Sheikah Slate is one of the most versatile tools in the game, giving us magnetic abilities, the power to summon ice on any bed of water, and the ability to blow things that flip up. And it's the splosions that I want to talk about. See, the only way to really ignite a bomb in Breath of the Wild is manually. Enemies can pick them up, but it will stay perfectly safe until you ignite it yourself. You can hit it with fire arrows, still nothing. Wallop it into the sky. And let me just find it. Yeah, nothing. But the important thing to remember about this game is the chemistry system is stupidly deep. None of these elements can ignite a bomb because the only thing that can do that is Sheikah technology. This means, of course, the Sheikah detonator, and you may have been aware of ancient arrows. That can ignite it too because they're also made by the Sheikah. But there's still more. Those Sheikah flames you can find in the world, like in Hateno Village. If you set something wooden on fire with them, like a standard arrow, try launching it at the bomb. Huh, yeah, that works too. In fact, because bombs are Sheikah made, you can use a circular bomb to ignite a square bomb, if you want to. And this is probably the coolest. Guardians are Sheikah made, and so they have the power to ignite bombs too. Although what makes it tricky is the laser can ignite bombs, but the explosion itself can't. So you've got to make sure it's the blue laser hitting the bomb and not the big fire explosion. So you either need to be incredibly precise throwing the bomb into a Guardian laser, which yes, can block the laser as well, or you can try and trick one into lining up a perfect shot on the ground. So yeah, basically any Sheikah-made blue substance can ignite a bomb. I've played Resident Evil 4 perhaps more than any other game. I know it like the back of my hand and can run through areas without even thinking. And yet, I had no idea about this until recently. Chapter 4.3 has the infamous minecart section where you survive waves of Ganados while skating down a railway with only 3 different minecart sections to jump between. It's a cool part of the game, and after that you of course run forward, pick up the key and run out of the room. No! Don't leave yet, there's more in here. There's actually a really weird secret in this room, where in the southwest corner, you'll find a skull. And if you get close enough... Are we taking the skull? Why is there money here? Why is there more money here? What is going on? Money is otherwise always shown to the player through big, sparkly collectibles, and even the rarer gems have some kind of visual notice to show that they're there, but this has absolutely nothing. So is there deeper meaning to this? Well, a popular theory is because there's multiple pickups, this is where all the unobtained gold from the minecart section teleported to. So all those Ganados you killed earlier, this could be their items. It's believable enough, but I wanted to run a few tests just to be sure. I first ran through the section, killing every Ganado possible with the most powerful weapon in the game, and for that, I got 12 pieces of gold, coming to a total of 2,800. I then ran through a second time and tried to kill as few as possible. I used invincibility frames and stun grenades to try and stay alive, and this time, 12 pieces, 2,800 gold. I mean, they did fall off at the end of the section, so this doesn't necessarily debunk the rumor. So let's find one more way through the power of a god. Through means that I will not discuss, I have disabled the AI for the Ganados and they will not track me. Not only that, but they are 1/8 of their initial speed, so if they do track me, they'll be doing it incredibly slowly. Just want to make perfectly sure nothing will kick into gear. And going through this third and final time, having interacted with 0 Ganados, 12 pieces, 2,800. I think it's safe to say this isn't tied to the Ganados you kill, this money just belongs to our skeleton friend. Well, it did, it's mine now. Super Mario 64, what's there to possibly learn about this game now? I mean, there's a one-up right here. Maybe you knew that, maybe not. That's not the bit. Let's talk about something I rarely ever see anyone talk about. Mario's got a bunch of moves in this game, whether it's the punch, the triple punch, the dive, the long jump, the triple jump, the breakdance kick, and the kick jump. This is activated just like the long jump, apart from instead of pressing Z and A, you press Z and B. It's fairly useful at taking out enemies without coming to a halt, but I think most of the time I'd rather just dive at them. I'd bet most of us don't really use this move. But what have I told you? There's another incredibly situational use. Lava's bad, right? You jump into it and you go, thanks, Brandon. But with this kick jump, Mario can actually bounce on lava. What? It doesn't cover much ground, but you can use it to hop across small pools of lava without taking any damage, and I just think that's a rad little bit. Bayonetta is one big Sega reference.
Even old Eggman the Destroyer gets scrambled in the end, right?
However, this one goes a step above. In the Bayonetta series, you can buy the move Tetsu Sanko, and Virtua Fighter fans will instantly recognize this as one of Akira's most iconic moves. It's pulled off in a really similar way too. In Virtua Fighter, you make like a Z shape and punch, whereas in Bayonetta, being more of a 3D game, you hold back, flick forward, and punch. It's the same iconic move, and that's cool, but there's way more to it. If you can pull off a perfect fight, end it with a Tetsu Zanko, and get a pure platinum medal, Bayonetta will say this. And again, Virtua Fighter fans will recognize this as... This is one of Akira's catchphrases, and roughly translates to, "You're 10 years too early," a mock at their skill level. But there's more! In Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS and Smash Bros. Ultimate, you may recognize this voice clip right here. It's the thing again! But where does it appear in the game? Well, Bayonetta's forward throw is the Tetsu Zanko, and while she'll perform it silently most of the time, there is a very rare chance she may say the line. Splatoon quickly became one of Nintendo's most iconic franchises, and it found the success on the Wii U of all things, so it only feels right to honor that legacy. While a short and subtle reference, when the Orca system first introduces itself to you, you may recognize a familiar sound. Any idea? Let's play it again. If you're still not getting it, let's boot up the Wii U real quick. The Wii U will outlive us all. Sonic Adventure is one of my favorite games to replay, just because of how fun it is to exploit the mechanics. If you just keep mashing the spin dash, you build up so much speed, it completely breaks levels. You can even charge a spin dash and jump to clear extremely wide gaps. And while these all may seem like side effects that are unintentional to the game, are they really? There's multiple moments throughout Sonic Adventure that make these exploits seem fully intentional and outright reward the player for doing them. Like here in Ice Cap, you're meant to go through these caves and slowly make your way around and jump from icicle to icicle. Or you can ignore that completely and run to the top of the hill where there's a bunch of capsules waiting for you. But even weirder, the camera has panned itself out to give you a different kind of view. And this is the perfect setup to do this. They frame it just right for you. And in Speed Highway, there's two lives hiding in what seem to be unreachable spots. See, there's something else you can do with the spin dash as well. If you keep mashing it in front of some cliff sides, you'll just climb them. It's really useful in this one here in Emerald Coast, but it also works on these buildings right here in Speed Highway. So let's magically climb to the top, and look, there's a life right here. And if we jump onto the other side, there's another life right here. And I did consider, or maybe they were left over from Tails' level. He can fly much higher than Sonic. And it's true, Tails can make it over here, but there's no lives waiting for him. This is specifically put here for Sonic. That's wild. Paper Mario 64 is another game filled to the brim of secrets, and while this one is small, it's incredibly neat. There's one moment very early on in the game where Peach goes out to the balcony and it plays this very sorrow but very short loop. Yeah, it just keeps going. The reason it's so short is there's just one text box here, you're not meant to linger. It's very basic, nothing really noteworthy going on here, but let's keep waiting. Huh! It's completely shifted to Peach's theme, but not just any version of it. This is actually being played in a higher key than the usual version. Here's the original version. And here's the secret one. How cool! In the Americas, Nintendo had Puyo Puyo Fever exclusivity locked down with a GameCube and DS release. However, everywhere else in the world it released pretty much on any platform possible. PlayStation 2, Xbox, Game Boy Advance, PSP, PC, and in Japan, very interestingly, and keep into account this was in 2004, Dreamcast. That's 3 years after the system was officially discontinued. This makes Puyo Puyo Fever Sega's final first-party game, and that's pretty special in itself. Despite only releasing in Japan, you can enable English language for both written and spoken dialogue. And unlike any other version, we've got VMU support, baby! Yeah, Puyo Puyo Fever for Dreamcast is a fantastic piece of Sega history, and a fantastic game in general. But, what is this? Dreamcast main menu screen setting? The following background image file will be saved. Alright, well let's just try saving the first one and... Oh! My Dreamcast home menu has been puyoed! Well, let's try another background image and also just selecting whatever the heck this is. Finish to save the file. Press start button on the Dreamcast main menu screen to switch to real mode. Okay, let's give this a go. Oh dear lord! The Dreamcast is real! Everything's been put into full 3D, and you can shift it around like a Smash Brothers menu. And what more, with the triggers, you can rotate it around too. It's in full 3D space. Everything's got depth, all the icons are 3D models. It's nuts! And you can still do everything you can normally do, like sort through saves, play audio CDs, but man, the detail. The world will never be the same again. And with that, thank you for watching the very first episode of 8-Bits. We have so much more video game trivia to share with you, but if you knew every single fact, tell us that we're bozos in the comments, and we'll take it to heart, and we'll try and be better. Thanks everyone, catch you next time.